Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to, cut through the noise and get straight to the insights that matter. And today, we're tackling a really big question, one that kind of sneaks up on you sometimes. Am I really living, or am I just existing? It's pretty direct, isn't it? Almost confrontational. So our mission today is to help you face that question, explore some real, practical strategies, no fluff for actually taking control and, well, maybe finally chasing those dreams. Our source material, it's excerpts from Stop Existing, Start Living, Your Life Remastered. And let me tell you, this isn't your typical motivational stuff. No sugarcoating here. It's more like holding up a mirror, designed to show you the truth, maybe wake you up from this sleep you didn't even know you were in. Yeah. Really makes us look at what we're doing with this one life we get.
Yeah, what's fascinating is how it challenges you right from the get-go. It's not just handing out tips. It's demanding a whole shift in how you see things. It's pushing us, really, from just letting life happen to us to actively, creating it. It's about taking back the reins.
Taking back the reins. I like that. And it kicks off with something we all think we have plenty of. Time. But the source says something pretty profound. You are not killing time. Time is killing you. Oof. That just lands differently, doesn't it? Makes you think about all that scrolling, all that waiting for tomorrow. It's a stark reminder. Hitting snooze, endlessly browsing social media. It's not just wasting time. The source actually calls it destroying pieces of your life. Our dreams are just sitting there, waiting. But for how long? So the practical advice is start valuing your hours, like gold. Write down a plan for the day. Focus on one thing that moves you forward. Maybe cut just 1 hour of social media. Use it to read, learn, actually grow. It's about being intentional.
Exactly. And it's not just about, being more productive. It's deeper than that. It's about how we slowly let our potential just erode without even realizing it. Because we think being idle is the same as resting. We live with this illusion of endless time, right? But every moment we delay action, we're essentially choosing not to invest in our future self. It forces you to think, maybe my biggest regret won't be something I did, but what I let time just take from me.
Which leads right into the next point, that whole idea of someday. We all do it. The source just asks flat out, why not now? To challenge, really. What's actually going to change between now and this magical then? Are you suddenly going to be more motivated? Life going to get easier? Fear just vanish?
Probably not.
Right. No. The source is clear. If later always becomes never, then now's all we've got. It's the only currency that matters. Stop the endless planning. Just start. Take one small step right now. That could be everything.
That's so critical. Our brains are, wired for comfort. We avoid the immediate discomfort, which looks a lot like procrastination. Someday is this fantasy version of us who's magically better equipped. But that future self, it only gets built by what we do today. It's about breaking that habit of putting things off. Understanding the perfect moment doesn't just show up. You have to create it by starting.
Powerful stuff. Okay, so that brings us to the internal roadblocks, things inside us that keep us stuck. The source talks a lot about personal responsibility. Lesson 2, stop blaming and start building. It's asking us to stop, focusing on what we didn't get and instead create something from nothing.
But let's be real. If someone feels genuinely stuck, overwhelmed by their circumstances, hearing stop blaming must be incredibly tough, right? Oh, absolutely. It is tough. And the source isn't trying to dismiss real struggles or hardship, not at all. What it's doing is shifting the focus away from why did this happen to me, which, can keep you trapped as a victim, towards, okay, what can I do now from this point? It's empowering, really, a reframe, moving from feeling like life is dictated by outside forces to finding your own internal power. Think about the common excuses, right? Not enough money, time, talent, support. But then the source brings up Oprah Winfrey. Born in poverty, abused, yet built an empire. She didn't just sit and blame, she built. So the solution offered is actually simple but deep. Accept your story, sure, but don't let it make you a victim. Write down your problems. Then, for each one, write down one possible solution. And then, take action. Even a tiny action. That's where agency starts.
Yeah, that difference between acknowledging your story and being defined by it as a victim, that's huge. Okay, so if blame holds us back, what about the pull of comfort?
Right, it's the next logical barrier. And the source paints this really vivid, almost disturbing picture of the comfort zone, calls it killing your dreams silently, because, as it says, there is no growth in comfort. All success lives outside of it. It talks about that daily routine trap phone, eat, watch TV, scroll, sleep, feels easy, right? Relaxing even, but the warning is stark. You're basically dying slowly inside. It uses this a great metaphor of a seed. If it just stays safe under the soil, it's never going to be a tree. It has to break through the ground, face the elements. Only then does it become something strong, something powerful. The insight is discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the catalyst. It's what makes you grow. So the solution, do something uncomfortable every single day. Fail. Fail proudly, fail loudly, but fail forward. Nothing great happens when you play it safe.
That is such a crucial point. And it flows right into the next barrier.
Yeah.
Overthinking. Our minds, right? They can be amazing, but also our biggest trap. Locking us in this cage of thinking, and no doing. The source gives some great examples. Planning a business for months, never starting. Watching language videos, never speaking. Planning workouts, never going.
The analysis paralysis.
Exactly. Use that swimming analogy. Read all the books, watch the videos, but if you never jump in, you're not swimming. Truth is, thinking's important, sure, but only for a bit. After a while, it just turns into fear. And fear, it's a liar. So the practical advice, think for 10 minutes, then act for 10 hours.
Love that ratio.
Yeah, it's about building momentum, letting action become the habit. Because success doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing.
And if you broaden that out, the real fight for your dreams, it isn't usually external, it's internal. The source says it so powerfully. Your biggest enemy is not outside, it's you. It's that little voice telling you to quit, stay tired, be average, just chill out. This is the you versus you battle. Lazy you versus ambitious you. Scared you versus brave you. Sleepy you versus hungry you. It uses that analogy of the two wolves inside us. One's lazy, negative, doubtful. The other, strong, confident, hungry. And the question is, which one gets stronger?
The one you feed.
The one you feed, exactly. So the solution is starve the lazy habits. Track your day. Every time you choose growth over comfort, write it down. Slowly, by feeling the right wolf consistently, your whole identity starts to shift.
That really hits home. We all have those internal fights. And speaking of fights, the source says willpower is like a muscle. Our feelings, it argues, they can be total liars. They can control our whole future if we don't train that willpower muscle. It's about those days, when you just don't feel like getting up early or working out or studying or even chasing your dream. If you let those feelings win, you've basically handed your future over to your mood swings.
Right. You're letting temporary feelings dictate long-term outcomes.
Exactly. So willpower means doing the right thing even when you don't feel like it. And like any muscle, it needs training, consistent effort. The example about trying to stop using your phone after 10 p.m., it's so relatable. You fail at first, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But each time you try, even if you only manage it for 5 minutes longer, you build that strength little by little. That's what the solution is. Start small. Pick one thing you resist doing and just do it anyway. Build that daily discipline. Talk to yourself like a leader. I don't break promises to myself. Because mastering your willpower, that's when you really take control.
And the psychology there is interesting. It's not about just gritting your teeth. It's about building habits, creating a positive loop. Every small win against instant gratification strengthens that muscle, makes the next win easier. You build self-belief, proving to yourself you can do it.
Right. Okay, so you're building internal strength. But what about the outside world? What if nobody seems to notice or believe in you yet? How do you light that fire?
That's the next crucial piece. The source's answer is incredibly direct. Pick yourself. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission, for approval, for someone else to say you're ready. It reminds us the world probably won't clap until it's too late. They might not believe until you've already succeeded. Think about J.K. Rowling. Rejected 12 times. What if she'd waited for someone else's yes?
We wouldn't have Harry Potter.
Exactly. She picked herself. She kept writing. The world caught up eventually. So the solution, write your own name on that opportunity. Start the YouTube channel. Write the book. Launch the podcast. Apply for the job, even if you don't feel 100% ready, because it's much harder for the world to ignore someone who believes in themselves so fiercely. It's almost contagious.
That's a really powerful call to self-belief, and it leads nicely into navigating those external things that can trip us up, even when we feel strong inside. And the next point, wow, the source is brutally honest here. If you keep comparing yourself to others, you will never be happy. Never. Roughly. It points out how much time we waste watching other people's highlight reels instead of building our own lives. We see their perfect Instagram feeds and compare it to our messy, real, behind-the-scenes stuff.
The curated version versus the reality.
Totally. We don't see their struggles, their loneliness, their failures. It uses that analogy, a sunflower and a rose, comparing height and color, forgetting their own unique beauty. The takeaway, unfollow people who consistently make you feel less than. Focus on your journey. Turn comparison into inspiration. Learn from others, sure, but don't tear yourself down. You're meant to be better than you were yesterday, nobody else.
Yeah, the psychology of social comparison is potent. Our brains naturally evaluate. And now, with social media, we're bombarded with these idealized versions. It's a trap. You're judging your whole complex life against someone else's polished snapshot. You can't win that game. So the solution isn't just hitting unfollow, it's actively changing that internal voice from competition to your own personal growth.
And it's not just comparison that can mess us up, right? It's also listening to the wrong people.
Absolutely. Which is the next point. The source tells us to filter advice really carefully. If you want to build a house, you don't ask the man who lives under a broken roof. Makes sense, right? It gives us a classic example. Your uncle warned you against starting a business because it's risky, but he's only ever worked a 9 to 5.
Right. He doesn't actually know.
Exactly. Why take advice on a path from someone who's never walked it? The deeper point is about protecting your vision, discerning real experience from just opinion. Not all advice is created equal. So the solution is simple. Ask yourself, has this person actually achieved what I want to achieve? If yes, listen closely. If no, thank them politely and move on. Protect that vision. Because the wrong advice from the wrong person really can set you back years.
Okay, so we're filtering advice, ignoring unhelpful comparisons, breaking free from comfort. This leads to the idea of risk, doesn't it? The source is clear. If you want a life story worth telling, you don't get greatness without risk. No successful life was built staying safe. No powerful person got that way by avoiding challenges. Every champion, every person you admire, they risked something: money, time, comfort, safety, maybe even their heart. It uses the example of being scared to speak English because people might laugh. And maybe you miss out on years of connection and growth because of that fear.
The fear of judgment.
But what if that one moment of courage unlocks 10 years of reward? So the practical takeaway: take one risk today, something small maybe. Ask yourself, what's the absolute worst that could happen? And then this is key, ask, but what if it actually works? Because without risk, there's no adventure, no fire, no growth, no story.
And what's fascinating about risk isn't just the chance of outside success, it's how it changes you inside. Every calculated risk you take literally expands your comfort zone, it builds resilience, it proves to yourself you can handle uncertainty. That's how you move from just existing safely to truly living with expanding possibilities.
Which brings up another angle. What about the really hard stuff, the pain, the struggles? How do we turn those into something powerful?
Great question. The source tackles this head on. It makes this really stark distinction. That pain inside you, it can destroy you or it can build you. You decide. It speaks directly to those hidden battles: suffering, betrayal, failure, rejection, the stuff people often hide, feeling alone. But the strongest people, they don't let that pain just sit there and fester. They use it as fuel. They acknowledge it. That suffering made me tougher. That heartbreak taught me self-respect. That failure taught me how to grow. It reminds us the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. It's not about loving the pain, obviously, but about seeing its potential to forge strength. So the solution is turn your pain into art, into discipline, into motivation. Transform it. Make it a voice that says, I survived that and I'm stronger for it. I won't let anything make me feel like nothing again.
That's a really profound perspective on hardship. Okay, so we've got all these insights: overcoming blame, comfort, fear, comparison, using pain. But how do we actually do the work? How do we stay focused? The source brings back the two wolves idea. One is distraction, the other is focus. Which one wins?
The one you feed. Still true.
Right. Every time you scroll for hours, gossip, overthink useless stuff, binge watch endlessly, you're feeding distraction. Your dreams get weaker. To starve distraction, turn off the phone sometimes, cut out toxic influences, say no to things that don't serve your goals. To feed focus, read, work on your project, learn, build. Fail, yes, but try again. It's a muscle, like willpower. It needs training. And the source offers this powerful idea: give you your full focus for just 1 year, 365 days of pure focused effort. Your life, it will look completely different. That's not magic. It's just the math of consistent, dedicated action.
And what's really key there is understanding focus isn't something you just have. It's a practice, a choice you make over and over. Especially now, the world is designed to distract us. So focused, deep work, that's becoming rare and incredibly valuable. By choosing focus, starving distraction, you're basically reprogramming your brain for serious achievement.
And with that focus comes maybe a hard truth. The world doesn't actually owe you anything.
Yeah, this is where the source gets really real. The world doesn't care about your potential. It only rewards your performance. Ouch. But true, right? It connects straight back to needing relentless action. Self-reliance. No magic fairy, no genie, no perfect moment dropping from the sky. It's on you. Life is not a gift. It's a battlefield, it says. It's about getting past complaining and just standing up and making it happen. The source shares this mindset shift. I stopped expecting life to be easy, and I started demanding more for myself. That's powerful.
It really is.
So the solution, the mindset to wake up with every day is, life owes me nothing, but I will take everything I deserve. I'll work harder, I'll endure more, I'll show up earlier, I'll keep going when others quit. It's pure self-determination.
Okay, so pulling all this together, if you're listening and you're not waking up excited, if you look around and just don't like your life right now, the source gives you full permission to hit reset. It reminds you, you are the creator of your life. You're not a tree. You're not stuck. You can move. You can evolve. You can rebuild. You literally have the power to change your hair, your habits, your friends, your home, how you think, everything. Stop trying to copy someone else's life. Start building your version. You're not a victim here. You're an artist. Life, that's your canvas. Go create your new version. Make it bold. Make it yours. Make it unforgettable.
That's such a great culmination. It's about radical self-ownership, the freedom and realizing you have that creative power. It's not about finding yourself. It's about actively creating the self you want to be. That journey from just existing to really living. It's like sculpting yourself day by day.
And the source also, it acknowledges something important. Maybe you, listening right now, maybe you're really struggling deeply. Maybe nobody knows how much you're hurting, how heavy it all feels. It offers this really compassionate, but also firm message of hope.
It really does. It says, everything will be okay. There is always, always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
It reminds you, no matter how broken you might feel, no matter how long it takes, you are not finished yet. Your worst days, they aren't the end. They're the beginning of a stronger, smarter, more powerful you. It urges you, find a dream, something that makes you feel alive, a reason to get up, something to fight for, and then protect it, chase it, build it with everything you've got. It ends with this incredible belief in your potential, saying you have no idea what you're capable of. You're powerful beyond your imagination. In fact, it says you are not just a human being, you are a storm waiting to rise.
Wow. Okay. This whole deep dive, it's been such a powerful reminder. Our life really is in our hands. The path to something great. It's paved with courage, with discipline, with believing in yourself relentlessly. It's not about waiting for permission. It's about making that choice. Stop existing, start living. And that final call from the source really sticks. The clock is ticking and your time is now.
So let's leave you with this thought. If you truly are a storm waiting to rise, what's the very first, maybe uncomfortable drop of rain you'll let yourself become today? Knowing that one day the world might just watch in shock and ask, wow, where did this person come from?
Right.
Take that action today, not tomorrow.